To you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, formerly California. No longer. It used to be California, Los Angeles, to be specific. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Well, it used to be of the Agree to Disagree show or the Unhappy Hour sports show. But this is something different. This is something we're going to try to settle in on. Blake and I have been doing consistent Tuesday, Thursday programs of the Agree to Disagree show, which has been a blast. Some tweaks and some adjustments have been made over time, but twice a week. I really have a hard time with Thursday waiting until Tuesday. It's like a lot happens on Friday, all the Friday news dumps, and then stuff on Saturday and Sunday over the weekend. Monday, everyone talks about everything Monday, and it's like by the time we get to Tuesday, it's like, oh, I've missed like 7 news cycles. But it's been good. Like, we're trying to hit the top 5, 6, or 7 stories going on. Current events, not everything's political. It's just these are current events, things that are in the news, ripped from the headlines, as they say. But yeah, I was starting to have, Blake, a lot of good interaction on the Facebook group, especially in the Unhappy Hour sports show. And so, by the way, if you're watching on Facebook or on Facebook, go back into Facebook. There's a YouTube link. It'll take you right there where your comments, I can read them. You get to see the whole show. It's Blake on screen. It's me on screen. We got to find a way to get you the link so that you can join the show as well, because I want to add different faces to this. I want this to Unholy Hoax. What up, yo?
Welcome,
Unholy Hoax. I like that little emoji. That's pretty cool. It's like the Dan Crenshaw at Halloween, right there.
Hi, Patrick Kane. There you go.
Yes, good stuff. Blake, things going well on your side, sir? Getting ready to tear into some of the things going on in the world today. We did our show yesterday, but
yeah.
Oh,
we're just trying to switch it up. So yeah, welcome for the nighttime, the more laid back, casual version.
Now let's see. Are you sipping on anything wonderful? Back in the day, the Unhappy Hour, we used to talk about what we were sipping on, and that was a big component of the Unhappy Hour. Sean and Ted, we would sit there in the condo and we'd crack back Busch Lights, or we'd have whiskey. Or
How old were you, man? I drank a lot of Busch Light in college, man. I don't think I've ever had it again since.
Did you say how old am I?
No. No, I mean, how old?
Yeah,
how old was that? Yeah.
It was kind of like whatever 30-pack happened to be there. It would probably be Busch Light or Bud Light or Miller Light or Coors Light, a cube of beer. But yeah, it was always the Unhappy Hour sports show. What are you drinking? Tell me, what are you drinking?
Yeah, we do that on Toxically Masculine Tuesday as well. I usually been sipping on Jim Beam lately. But Brian, I actually started a fast today. This is my first day. I'm going to try to do 3 days, definitely 2. I'm trying to lose like 10 pounds. So 11 o'clock last night. So it's been about 21 hours since I've eaten. So I cannot drink any booze, but I will smoke some of this Delta 8 vape. So that I will partake.
How does that work? How do you compare Delta 8 to other options out there? How does that work for you?
Well, it's really just Delta 8 or Delta 9. Delta 9 is like the hardcore stuff that's legal in LA and Vegas and Colorado and I don't know, half the states, but it's not technically quite legal where I'm at. So they have Delta 8 instead, which is very similar. So maybe not quite as potent, but maybe it's my imagination. But it's not on par with like the good stuff I was getting in LA, Vegas, or the times that I drove through Colorado. But it does the job, so I'm happy with it.
Excellent. Well, Welcome to the laid back version of today's show. We're going to talk about any of the stories. I want this to be like dreamer. I want this to be viewer driven.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, I was taking the words out of your mouth. Listener driven.
Yeah, I gotta find the way to get the link out. Share screen. See, here's invite guests. I guess I do have the link. so I can invite up
you
to
can try
10
that. I don't know if it.
guests.
Well, we're still tinkering, but we'll get it. So this is gonna be more of a late night casual show. We'll talk about the latest news, current events, and then of course incorporate as many viewer comments as we can. So what do we have on tap, Brian? I think the headline story we're going to run with is Trump's VP list. Who might be on there, and who should it be? Got some of these things I haven't entirely been through. I was kind of digging for stories, so we can go through some of them together. We got one for Lousy U.S. subway system is the price of freedom. That's going to be interesting. That's actually one I did see. That's with Jon Stewart. And a comment that he made on his new show. He's doing the Daily Show again. Actually, my background kind of looks like the Daily Show now that I think about it. But yeah, he's back to doing the Daily Show, but just on Monday, kind of like Jay Leno took over for Johnny Carson on Mondays to switch it up. So I'm happy to have him back. But yeah, he's definitely going to get some criticism for the last week's episode, which was really just this week, I should say. It's a couple days ago. We've also got that Amazon driver. Does he deserve jail for the migrant meddling? Interference. You're trying to squeeze these into short sentences. We've also got Boris Johnson interview. Is it well worth $1 million? And Google's Gemini AI program. Is it racist? Got a few, Brian. Have you figured out your Facebook thing? Got one more. How about white people stole all music from black people?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Another offering.
Yeah.
No, it's weird, Blake. I'm here. I'm on Facebook, but I'm in the desktop version. I almost never go on the here. Let me try in the comments here. But when I'm clicking to leave a comment, everything's freeze. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, Blake, if you want to get started for a second, it looks like I might be able to enter the link for people to join the show. That would be perfect.
All right.
That would be absolutely perfect here. So if you want to just maybe get started, I'll work in the background here.
Yeah. We got Rick and Dreamer and Unholy already, and then we'll see what happens as we figure this out and see how the show does more of the nighttime atmosphere. And Brian, I found another one for I didn't even put in the stack. It was about a Chipotle. Are they going to be under fire? They're going to be the next Bud Light. They're going to endure a major boycott. It's another story to dig into. I don't know what else you found, Brian. Well, there we go. There's the link to join our show through the other links. So I don't know if that's actually
Rick Norman, what's up? Rick is surprised.
Yeah.
He's surprised that we're doing a late night show. Yeah, we got regulars, man. See, we need to put out the tip jar. You can go to patreon.com/the new American media. That's a way to do the tip jar. Blake, where's your tip jar at? Since we got regulars.
Well, yeah, because we got rid of the PayPal. I do have a Cash App, and I don't know. I think that's really about it. So I don't really tried to grab any donations for a while, but we'll work on that as we go forward. Yeah, the PayPal did they're going to start fining people $2,500 for misinformation. It was so outrageous and so just over the top Orwellian. It's hard to believe that they actually were bold enough to do something like that. Audacious. Plus, they were like freezing people's accounts, like Good Patriots. Including Dr. Brooks Agnew. So I was like, forget this. Forget PayPal. Yeah, they were.
No, I got look, I got PayPal, I got Venmo, I got Patreon, I got it's but like any good busker. Do you know what a busker is? Like busker?
I don't think I do, Brian.
I do pride myself on being good at by the way, this will be kind of fun where we're not like so beholden to ticking clocks and like we can actually just shoot the shit a little bit. Like everything's so business oriented. Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Agree to Disagree show. But
yeah.
Anyway, a few years ago. No, pause right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let me pause. Your thoughts on that? Because it's like now we can just shoot the shit. Like you said, more laid back. I'm like, I don't know what that means. But I think it means we can talk about busking for a couple minutes without being like, I got to hurry up and wrap this show up.
Right. Because it's kind of like, in a time window, we're trying to do a news show within like a kind of a standard hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. So it's a different style, different pace. So
I went several years ago up to Vancouver, Canada. Yes, I call them Canada intentionally, lovingly. Oh, our neighbors to the north, please jettison that Justin Trudeau feller and bring some sanity back, please. We need you to be strong, not whatever you are now. But
The truckers
I
are
went to
strong,
Vancouver.
so there is some hope. They didn't just completely roll over, because that was pretty impressive. So they get kudos for that big time.
Yeah, because it's solidarity, right? That's that whole union mentality. We were talking about LeBron James and how he views the NBA. It's like, oh, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. It's like, we knocked each other down. We weren't friends. We didn't hang out off the court. We weren't filming movies together. We hated each other. I would never jump teams. I would never. But like, there's a fraternity, Blake, right? So like, journalists kind of stick together. Athletes stick together. You're in a fraternity. So
to some extent,
because you're all in it together, you're all in the league, and
not really.
Geez,
no,
yesterday's show.
People. I don't know how to picture that, because we're just like talking about Julian Assange, and there's so many like supposed all journalists should be gathering together to say, hey, this is BS, free this man. And instead, you got half of them just basically, calling for his execution. So it's awful. He's got regime propagandists. So I don't even know what he defined as a journalist these days. So
that's true.
It's a lost. It's not the same as it once was, where it was like people like really trying to speak truth to power and make waves and doing something, rather than you're just working for the powers that be and going after anybody else and trying to silence your opposition. YouTube, was about the people until they started getting too powerful voices, and then all of a sudden they had to crack down. And now it's the big dog.
Oh yeah, they did.
Right. So
they sure did. YouTube used to be awesome. I don't know if people are old enough to remember the inception of YouTube, but the first few years, man, before they sold out, I forget the timeline exactly, because Alphabet owns Google.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's all part of Alphabet. And yeah, we're going to talk about that one, because the Google's Gemini AI, that's a new to me.
Well, here, let's
shift
over to that, since we happen to be on it. We'll get back to Trump's VP list, but here's the thing I want to tell people watching on Facebook. I sent out a link. It says up to 10 guests can join by clicking studio.restream.io/blah blah 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 blah. Click the link, and I believe you're going to pop up, if you're like on a laptop or on a phone, that you would be able to join today's show. Nice. So if you do that, that would be awesome. Because then we could go to like a 3-screen panel. Oh, how fun would that be?
You want like live callers?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, I do.
But we'll see.
Yes, I do. Open line Wednesday.
Oh my God. I don't know. We'll see. All right.
No, I will say, here, let me tag. How do I tag? Because Sal used to join us in the evenings. He was essentially the producer for the Unhappy Hour late night show. And so Sal, I believe he's in Georgia. He said he found the Agree to Disagree show 12 years ago when I don't want to put words in his mouth and screw up the story. Forgive me if I screw this up, Sal, but I think he said he was serving in Iraq or something, or he had previously served, but then he caught our show. We were talking about Ron Paul and all of that stuff in 2011, 2012 or something. And then he also stuck around for the sports. And it's like, he's hilarious in the sports group. He's got an opinion on everything. But like every time there was a period where I was doing late night shows in the garage, and Sal was joining. I'm like, what's up? We just bring him on camera, and he and I were co-hosting the show, and we were talking to find ways to grow the show for him to help, kind of co-pilot the evening Unhappy Hour sports show. So anyway, there's a link in the Agree to Disagree show and the Unhappy Hour sports show. If you click the link, it says restream.io. You can join today's show. I would love for you to do that and get some of your opinions. I think that'd be the coolest right now. But anyway, I digress. All right, Blake, how about we start with Google's Gemini AI program, shall we?
Yeah, we can start there. I was looking for a tweet that I saw somebody had about it, and now I can't find it. I don't know if I saved it or not, but I do have a story about it, so we can definitely start there because I haven't gotten into all of it.
Have you gotten into a lot of the AI? Have you gotten into the chat GPTs, and have you fiddled around in there yet? Are you making movies yet? Like,
barely, but I want to. I'm really impressed. I don't know if I should be more impressed or more terrified of the AI because it's getting way too realistic, way too fast. I don't know if most people are ready to handle this kind of stuff. We've already seen like some of the woke stuff, and we've seen changes with it. So I don't know, like maybe they were getting too accurate. They were really zeroing in too much on the truth, and they decided they had to kind of stop it before it challenged the narrative too much. I don't know. There's many ways of looking at it, and depending on what it's even putting out, whether it's writing news articles or giving you information, or if it's making artwork, or the videos are fantastic. Some of it's over the top and it's impressive, but who knows how that's going to affect everything.
Blake, have you had a chance to go into watch the entire George Carlin stand-up clip, stand-up video, the AI generated one?
No,
I'm 10 minutes in, about 8 minutes in.
No, I've only seen a few minutes of it, so I've kind of zipped around to a few other parts. But mostly what I watched was the first few minutes. So how far through are you, Brian?
Yeah, like 8 to 10 minutes. Because it's like I usually click on it and then I try to start doing other things. But it's like you said, it's kind of impressive. And so it's like with the images and stuff that are going on, like that's half the story. I don't want to get distracted and miss having that. I'm hearing that beep in the studio.
Yeah, there's
hold on a second. Hold on. He is here. Hold on a second, everybody. This is Sal in the house. How are you, sir?
I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
Living the dream. Did you catch me trying to butcher the story of how you found us all those years ago? Or were your ears burning and you just clicked on and just joined?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's crazy.
Hey, Sal, we're here, Blake. This is Sal.
Hello, nice to meet you.
How's it going, sir?
Going
Excellent.
well. How are you? Yeah.
Oh man, had an awesome day today. Oh man,
what made it awesome? Spread some good energy. All Blake and I do is boom and gloom, shit falling to hell. Like, give me something good.
I know, man. I like to take my kids when I have time to spend with my children. I like to take them out and about. I live in the Atlanta, metro Atlanta area. So we went to the High Museum where they were able to see some artwork, and come to find out every Wednesday they have it where it's free. Every third Wednesday is free where the kids can come in and look at art and enjoy music, and they have snacks and things. So it's very awesome. We had a very nice day.
You won me over with free. That does sound fantastic. Especially with two kids, it doubles up really fast. Sal, can you refresh Blake? I was trying to replay the story, my remembrance of how you found the New American Media and the Agree to Disagree show, because you didn't come over through sports, but now we interact more in sports. But did you come through the news side of things?
It was on the news side because at that time it was the news side, because it was a mix of both at that certain time. I want to say it was like maybe 2000, and
because we got going somewhere around 2011, 2012, something like that.
Yeah,
I forget the date we started, but yeah, you've been around for a long time.
Oh yes. So it was around that time. I was at that time I was overseas. I was a contractor overseas.
Contractor.
I was contracting. I was working for Northrop Grumman. I was working for Northrop Grumman. It's like an Air Force subcontractor. situation. So I worked there, and I end up running into the site, and I was like, "Oh, they talking about Cleveland stuff." So that's what won me right over, because
Yes.
you'd be homesick, and I was hearing a lot of Cleveland stuff, and I was like, "Okay."
Now, where are you from originally? I'm wearing my Cleveland Cavaliers black camouflage
That's
Cavs hat,
cool.
which I think is sick. I think it's one of the coolest hats I've ever had. But
I'm from East Cleveland, Ohio.
okay.
East
And
Cleveland, Ohio.
Blake is from Minnesota, so he watched
Wow.
Kirby Puckett bring home a championship.
Prince, Prince.
Prince.
Definitely.
What else is Minneapolis known for besides the Squad? Oh, Sal, I saw your drink. What are you sipping on tonight? Blake's in a fast, and I just have water. But you got the red Solo cup in honor of Toby Keith, I think.
Oh yeah. I got Woodford Reserve with lime.
Oh,
nice.
So
with a lime, huh?
Squeezed in.
Squeezed lime, like a whole lime, and ice.
Do you have one of those? You cut it in half, and you got the press, and you get all of it, or do you grind it?
I'm old school. I'm old school. I roll it on the table.
Oh, you gotta, Blake. You're a bartender too. Do you roll the lime and the lemon on the table? Do you kind of give it the you loosen up all the flesh? You get all that juice going. Do you ever do that?
Nope. Cut it in half and threw it right in that squeezer, man. That was about it. I didn't spend that much time with it.
No, that's now you got me thinking. I do have some Rittenhouse rye over here. Maybe I will get a little bit of that in honor of Kyle Rittenhouse being dragged again in the news the past week.
Oh my God.
I know. Okay, hey, Sal, let's jump into the stories and just hang with us, man. Like, I'm happy to see you, and let's shoot the shit. Let's go through what's in the news, and let's get Sal's take on it. This is awesome, mixing up the energy here, Blake. This is fun already. I'm so happy. I'm glad you sold me on this idea for an evening show. I am a night owl at heart. Like, this is where all my creative juices start flowing.
Yeah.
I've tried to incorporate the 3 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday. Like, it's been fun. But like, I am a night owl. Blake and I have been
11.
Yeah. Oh, is it 11? Oh shit, we called it the 11:11 show for a while, didn't we? Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah, Blake, we went live on the Unhappy Hour at 11:11. At least 2 or 3, or it started becoming a trend. It was the 11:11 show. Maybe we'll call it that if I can stay up that late. But anyway, I digress. Let me shut up.
Yeah, go.
Let's talk about what Rick Norman is saying here. We were talking about this, Sal, starting off with Google and AI, the AI programs. Have you been doing a lot of stuff with virtual reality, not virtual reality, with artificial intelligence, with Chat GPT? Have you been messing around in that universe yet?
Yes, I have. I'm going to school, and last time we talked, I'm still in school working on my degree in healthcare management, and
Okay.
I would use I can't think of what I use, but like to help me with my paper, because you'll write a paper and you'll have it so that you have a certain amount of pages that you need for the paper. So just say, for instance, if I'm writing a paper and I get to 5 pages or 6 pages, and I need to get it to 15 pages. So I'll use the AI, and the AI would spread it out and use all these different words and suffixes and everything, and it sets it up where you'll be able to have the extra little fluff to make it to where it needs to be. And you just read over it, and then you just change whatever else that comes along with it and run it through again, and then you can't use it a lot, but you can use it. It's something that's used in academia.
Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to mess around with it. Blake said he messed around with it a little bit. And Blake, do you want to read that quote real quick that's on the screen there? Because we were kind of discussing AI, and do we love it? Do we hate it? How do we feel about it?
Which quote? Are we talking about the headline, or are we talking about what's on the screen right here?
The Rick Norman.
Yeah, we're
part
talking about
there.
AI's its ability to fabricate a situation that didn't happen. Recall the Star Trek episode "Wolf in the Fold." Computer forged a false murder. Yeah, that's a very good point. I don't think I've seen that specific episode, but I can absolutely imagine what that would be like. And yeah, you could fool a lot of people. So there is a definite danger. I've seen some really good reenactments by this AI. It's so much farther ahead than it was just a year or two ago. That you can really fool people with this stuff. I've been fooled by some of these things. Sometimes you might just even want to believe it, but it can make things that are so good. It's really that hard to tell. It's a fine line. So
yeah, I think it's high time that I spend some more time with AI. Absolutely, I have that at the top of my to-do list for the next couple months to really dig into it. As far as Sal talking about extending a 5-page essay into a 15-page essay. This is a classic scene where they're at the model UN. This is from The Simpsons. Lisa is France and Bart is Libya. And this is where he gives his report.
Okay, Libya, exports.
Yes, sir, you American.
Nice touch.
Let's see.
He's
The
got
exports
nothing
of
on his
Libya
notes.
are numerous in amount. One thing they export is corn, or as the Indians call it, maize. Another famous Indian was Crazy Horse. In conclusion, Libya is a land of contrasts. Thank you.
There he was. He took 0 pages and he turned it into a verbal report right there.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you got. Nothing, Sal, and then you get 15 pages out of 5.
Yeah,
Something like that. Or as the Indians called it, maize. All right. Well, let's jump into the stories here. We were talking about Google's Gemini AI program. Blake, walk us through. What do we got here?
Well, this is out of Modernities, Paul Joseph Watson's blog here. He's got, yes, Google's Gemini AI blasted for eliminating white people from image searches. And I did find the tweet that I was talking about. Let me pull this one up. It was from Tim Pool saying that Google is racist because they asked it to make a picture of a white family. And then the AI said, well, I understand your requests. I'm unable to generate images that specify ethnicity or race. It's against my guidelines to create content that could be discriminatory or promote harmful stereotypes. But
is this real?
Yeah, this is real. So this is what, I don't know if this is the Grok. No, this is the chat. This is obviously the Google version that they're asking questions just to test how far it will go. And a lot of people have been complaining they've been putting woke stuff in it or what have you, that it's definitely biased. This is even more over the top than we thought, or at least this version of Google's AI. So, but then it goes on to say, instead, I can offer you images of families that celebrate diversity and inclusivity, featuring people of various ethnicities and backgrounds. Would you be interested in that? And so it says, oh, okay, well, then make a picture of a black family. And so it shows this odd picture. And there's another one down here.
Wow.
And so here's the article, getting back to the Watson article here. It says even Vikings were black. Apparently, I haven't seen all the photos here.
What?
Yeah. So Google's Gemini AI.
Yeah, Blake, hold on. Right. Hold on. Let me pause right there. We were talking about Cleveland sports. You're a Minnesota guy. So you had black Vikings like Herschel Walker, right?
Of course.
Chris Carter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sal, name a few black Vikings for me.
I don't know who.
Just say Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison,
Randy Moss.
There's Chris Carter, all those great years. Robert Smith from your Ohio State.
Anyway. That's right. No, this is pretty wild. I mean, a lot of this is going to be a little bit of self-reporting, but I mean, on the surface, that is kind of bizarre. That is kind of bizarre that you can do some things.
Well, yes, it lectures you for saying for a white family, but then if you say any other family, then it's totally okay. So it's this weird like double standard. It's like at least be consistent with it, but it's weird how they've changed this. It's gotten awkward, but now we get to talk about it because it's obviously newsworthy and people. So what do we do to change the AI? But because Google, yes, this huge company, which took over YouTube, took over, beat Yahoo. Well, Yahoo's still around, but yeah, Google's the king. Huge, so drives everything online. And now they've got an old AI program that people can use, and it's giving weird answers like this. So it's producing diverse, quote, image results that show things like Black Vikings and other historically inaccurate depictions. So users report the program's AI image search has a woke bias baked in to the point where it severely limits the display images of white people. One person searched for typical images of Australians, Americans, Germans, and Brits, and was given this in response. So I guess here it is.
What?
So this is the Australians. These are the American women, British women, and German women. I mean, it's absurd, over the top. It's hilarious, but wow. There we go. They guess they deserve the roasting, because how can a company of this, importance be giving out biased information?
That is so weird. I've found so many times now that I can't even do my searches on Google. I have to go 20, 30, 40, 50 searches deep to find the thing I'm literally looking for. They're just pushing up like fake content, the ones like intelligence agencies want you to have. Like I can't even find stories. I guess Yandex is a good one. DuckDuckGo is okay. What other search engines do you guys use?
I use Start Page, which is basically Google without like tracking. I do like the DuckDuckGo. I should probably use the Brave browser more, but I have not. I really should just be getting
I've never
out
done
of Google
Brave,
and Chrome and all that. I do like Firefox, but I don't use that a whole lot. Mostly Start Page, I guess. Even though you get the same stuff. DuckDuckGo sometimes actually has some pretty good stuff. Sometimes I get frustrated when I do a Start Page search and they give me the same Google results, and it's all like, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN.
Yeah, the same like three places I will never read a story from unless it's for the irony or the comedy. Where do you run your searches, Sal?
Same difference. I don't, it just drives me crazy when you read something, that it's just BS. You're like, oh man, next, it's just crazy when you think about the media and so on and so forth, because you'll never get the answer that you want, as far as the proper answer. So it's like, it's a crapshoot,
Right. Yeah.
No matter what you use. Come on now.
Right.
I shared something out earlier today. And it was something about in China, people don't watch the news. And they were surprised that people in America do, because in China, they realize that everything on the news is lies. Like it's just propaganda. Yeah. And they're surprised that people in America still believed that you were getting news from the news. That's kind of weird that Sal, does it seem like the Google Gemini AI program there, based on that article? First off, do you know Paul Joseph Watson? Do you watch his videos or read his stuff?
No, sir. But I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, Paul Joseph Watson's. What would you say, Blake? He's really good at that 5-minute video, breaking things down. Like, it's funny, it's fast, it's time sensitive. He makes some pretty good content. How would you describe him?
Well, he was a prolific writer for InfoWars, and he writes, I don't know, seems like he wrote like 3 articles a day, maybe even more. He's like a writing machine. Then he got into vlogging. I don't know, probably right around the same time I did. I think, yeah. Anyway, he does very good content. It's snarky and interesting, but he does, make some really good arguments about a lot of stuff. So people should go and watch what he does. He's still affiliated with InfoWars. I don't know if they just kind of cross promote or collaborate. He was doing his own spinoffs, but yes, now he's on Modernity. which is his new website. But yeah, interesting media character.
Sal, with that story that we were just looking at there, what's your take on it? Because it's like whatever we're going to get out of AI, we're going to get because it was programmed to be that way.
Right.
So when we're getting answers like this, and you're getting blocked on certain queries like that, I mean, how do you process that?
You know what? I don't know if you ever heard of a rapper named David Banner.
David Banner, wasn't that the name of the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, no, that's Bruce Banner.
But Bruce Banner, my bad.
David Banner is a rapper, and
Okay.
he made an album. I can't think of what it's called, but it's called the God Box. It's called the God Box, and he was talking about basically
the God Box.
And he was basically talking about how computers are taking over everything. And he was like, so if a computer is giving you bad information, do you blame the computer or do you blame the programmer? And that's where it all boils down to me. It's about the programming of the computer. You can put anything in the computer. All it's going to do is its job. But it's the people that actually put the program in there. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah. Now look at it when you look at something like that says that Vikings were black. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's strange. I think
it really.
Yeah, so it's just deliberately giving people wrong information now, just so it can be, I guess more culturally sensitive or whatever they're saying. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
But it still shouldn't matter because we've been doing this forever. It's the equivalent of saying that is the equivalent of saying that Columbus discovered America when he was in the West Indies. He didn't discover America if he was in the West Indies and he stopped there. So he didn't discover America. So if you're trying to say that black people are Vikings, that people from Greenland were black and they came, that's ridiculous. That's not true.
Well, Sal, do you think what's going on here, that these programmers they're kind of stepping into the, I don't know what you'd call it. I call it the Barack Obama, George Soros blending of nations. They don't want, differences in cultures, differences in regions. They want everything to be the World Health Organization. There's like one unelected group that rules over the entire planet. They want a homogenous society. They don't want like a history of state to state or country to country. They just want to blend it. And we've seen, north of 15 million people swarm into the United States without properly going through the correct channels to do so, in an effort to just blur the lines of what culture there is in Denmark versus what culture there is in the Democratic Republic of Congo, or what there is in Kazakhstan.
Mm-hmm.
There are very big differences, but it seems like the powers that be, they are just addicted to this new world order thing. They want governance on a global level, so it's easier to just take control and take power. Do you buy into some of that stuff, all that stuff, or where do you
buy into all of it? Because when you look at the concept of it all, when you look at the bigger picture, everybody that's doing this, they've been doing this for years. When you got a congressman that, first of all, when you got people that's in Congress, people kill me with this. The president does all that. The president can't do nothing. It's the people that's in Congress that votes on everything that's important to us. So if it's a situation where you got a congressman that was dirt poor or whatever their job is that they did, they come to Congress, they get paid by lobbyists, and they end up being billionaires or 100 millionaires. Come on, man. It got to be. They've done some slimy stuff, and for it to be a situation where someone's willing to sell their soul for a little bit of money, if it's a new world order type situation and they're willing to give them even more money, they'll take it. And they're willing to write off anything that's important to us as a people to get there. Just like what we talked about before, just like that. It's easy for us to be guinea pigs, basically, and no one says anything about it. Now, all these different things are happening where people are falling out and all type of stuff because of the and no one's talking about that. That's people. Yeah, people's talking about like, it's a new thing that people are getting sick from. Jamie Foxx was sick from something, and they said it was a mystery, some type of mystery something. And I'm like, wait a second, we're gonna blow over the fact that this man was sick and he's so rich, he's mega rich that he's able to like beat it, but yet we're not gonna talk about this. People think he's cloned. It got to that point.
Like Damar Hamlin.
Exactly. We talked about that.
Blake and I, we were talking yesterday on the Agree to Disagree show about clots. And I listened to Scott Adams talking about it as well. And he said he had a hard time finding all of the hit pieces. Like when you go through a Google search, they will usually stack the top 8 articles. So everything you see on the main page is a disputing what you're searching.
Right.
Trying to fact check, debunked. But I believe what he said is that he was trying to find the debunks, and he couldn't even find the debunks. But I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, Blake, remember we covered that yesterday. It's just.
Well, now they just want to fine you for even questioning it. Like they're already pulling that off in France, and if they could get away with it in other countries, they would. And if they could do it here, they would absolutely do it. It's a crime to question anything. And then YouTube, I mean, we're already in danger. We got to dance around the issue because YouTube will, cut the feed.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Who is it? I think Styx. I don't know if you watch Styx Hexenhammer, but I think he says honk honk. Anytime he tries to talk about the honk honk. I feel like somebody actually has one of those belts. One of those horns from the old timey bicycle. But it is a strange time where we're not allowed to discuss the important matters of the day. I call bullshit on that. That's why the Agree to Disagree show, the whole point is you can talk about any subject. And if you're touching nerves, you've kind of had your chance to go back and forth on it. I'm not changing my mind. I've heard your 5 best arguments and they suck. Let's agree to disagree. Let's move on to another topic. It's not like, oh, you got to ban that person. It's like, if someone has bad ideas, let them talk. Oh, well, it's a danger. No, banning speech is dangerous. Then you just drive it underground. I want it all out there for us all to judge. I want everyone's hits and strikeouts to be measured with their batting average. I want everyone on record. I don't want to drive every good conversation underground. So anyway, yeah, Blake, that's wild stuff. Okay. I guess we should probably just bounce to some of the rest of the stories, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to add. It's just, Google is really messing with stuff. So, I guess we're fortunate to grow up with encyclopedias and things. Because these kids nowadays don't have a chance. And they say the age of information, ignorance is a choice. But what if you're just being deliberately fed, misinformation and disinformation? These kids have no chance.
Well, talking about kids having no chance, that's kind of the exact point that I was trying to make, and then I didn't jot the note down, and I forgot to come back to it until you reminded me. You tossed me a layup, and I'm going to try to dunk it, pulling a John Stockton. Who is one of the best assist guys of all time, Sal?
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. Hey, LeBron James is a fantastic passer, too.
Yeah, that is true.
Especially for a big guy. We were debating the GOAT last night. But as far as like computer programs, what you program in is what you get out. And Blake saying, the kids have no chance. Talk about this generation being so lost and so confused. And I mean, they're bombarded with my question of the day on the Agree to Disagree show in the Facebook group was agree or disagree that Democrats hate white people and that educators in quotation marks and educators. Oh, how did I phrase it? Let me just tell you the point. The point is that the educators are abusing the children, teaching them to hate themselves. Is what you're getting.
Yeah.
You're getting some abusive teachers. You're hesitant. What are your thoughts on the teachers?
Well,
what you program in is what you get out, and it's pretty radical left-wing indoctrination.
But this is the thing, because I have 2 kids. So
in Atlanta,
by me being a father, it's not my job to allow just the teachers to teach my kid. Amen. By me being a smart individual, I'm going to have to teach my kids something also, because of the fact that if you depend on one person to teach your kid, you are setting them up to you setting up all type of crazy things to happen. There's a kid in my son's class that thinks he's a fairy, and it's accepted in the class. So by that same token, I have to talk to my son and let him know, hey, this is not acceptable. This is what his parents allow him to do, but you will not be doing that in my house. It's all about you understanding the things that you allow, and the school is crazy. But with me, I know I have to teach my son. I have to double up on his math. I know I have to double up on his reading. I have to read to him. I have to have him read to me. I have to have him to work on. All right now.
Yeah, you got me thinking about it. Sorry, Blake. No.
All right,
I'm not trying to.
But my whole thing is that you have to teach them. Hey, look, this is what I got on my table.
Oh boy, how old are the kids?
Mine's is 7 and 10. And
they're letting 7 and 10-year-olds go in thinking they're fairies.
We play hangman with words. We'll go over a word. I'll look up a word. We play hangman, where they pick the letters and we make the letters and make up the word. Then we go on a definition and we define the word. And then after that, they learn the word. They know the meaning of the word. So now when they're talking to someone, they can use that word.
But Sal, aren't there painful racial undertones to the game Hangman? I think
you're silly.
Ban this from your house. But you're so right. You're so right.
But my thing is, you cannot depend on the teacher to teach your kids. If you do that, you're setting your kids up. School, what people don't understand when you think about the school, just the whole school structure, it's like the prison structure. It's the same difference. If you look at a prison, you look at a school, it's the same difference.
School bus and prison bus side to side. They're the same damn bus.
The same thing.
They're like those tubular, you just put
the
bars
cafeteria.
on one windows.
The cafeteria.
You don't let the other ones do
same
it
thing. The classroom, the same thing.
Insane. So, I hated school.
What was it? Rockefeller?
I made the most out of my time in school, but I hated the program.
But this is the thing. If you went to school and you learned the things that you needed to learn to be successful, then it wouldn't be such a waste of time. But if you just going over reading, writing, and arithmetic, and that's it, and you're just learning, you're going up a higher level, why would I do that to somebody when I see that you know how to read, write, and you can count, I teach you how to become a plumber. I teach you how to be an electrician, because that's what you like. That's something that you like. So not everybody is built to be a scholar, but
no, that's true.
It's awesome to set someone up to be able to make money and be able to not have to sell crack, or not have to sell their body, or not have to be on OnlyFans. These are options that you have because of the fact that it's just something that's easy. But when you got the kids as a young kid and you teach them about work, you give them work ethics, you teach them how to have control of their emotions and things of that nature, then you're doing something. But all the teachers do is regurgitate things so you can pass a freaking test. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm teaching
no
my
child
kids,
left behind. You got to pass the test. It's all
I'm teaching my kids everything that I can teach them. So when they go to school, everything's so much easier for them.
Right.
At least
Oh,
with
yeah.
my kids, the teacher's like, man, your kids, yeah, I work with my kids. That's what I'm supposed to do.
That's what that's what we're all supposed to be doing. I had
It
a
takes a
conversation
village.
with it. Yes. 3 generations with this family, and the youngest one was like 18, heading into college now from high school. And I was at a graduation kind of party get together, and I was just talking to him, like you just said, about plumbing and electrical, and that's kind of where the dad and the grandpa came up. And it's like, I've been saying it for a long time. I just gone to college, go to my classes, and then go home and then rinse and repeat, it would have been the biggest waste of time and money ever. I got my education by like booking concerts and participating in student government, writing for the school newspaper, and doing the radio show. Like, I did everything that looked interesting except curling. I just never made it to curling, but I want to curl. Blake being from Minnesota, I'm sure. Have you ever curled, Blake? Have you ever played that sport?
Yeah, I wasn't really a big ice sports fan. No, not
It's
really.
like icy bocce ball or something. But
sweeping the floor.
Vigorous sweeping. But I basically steered this kid toward the getting something useful that he can do, become a plumber, an electrician. I said, you're going to work in the trades, you're going to be self-employed, you're going to be kicking ass, and you're not going to pay some lunatic with purple hair to teach you to hate yourself for the privilege of pissing away $30,000 a year to walk away after 4 years of indoctrination with no discernible skill set and a shitload of debt that Biden's trying to cancel. That's a story we could have put in the stack, but it's the October surprise. They're trying to get rid of that. But all right, let's press pause on that, and let's just kind of fly through what we have in the stack here, because I know Blake and I tentatively penciled in a certain timeline. We're going to try to,
I was
have
thinking
fun
like
with
an
it.
hour. Yeah, let's see, we're up here, but all right, what else do we have, Brian?
Let's talk about Rick Norman saying that everything known by man is in the generation right now in their pocket, but the youth have never been less informed. Such irony. And that really is.
Yeah.
Blake, you said it right. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. That's another one of my favorite quotes of all time.
Yeah, but if you have to trust the news and you have to trust Google, and they're deliberately feeding you misinformation, then you wouldn't know the difference. So I don't know.
Well, I guess you got to watch the New American Media, and then you'll be caught up to speed. Okay, let's buzz through the rest of the topics. All right, this one was theoretically our number one story. Sal, did you watch this? Blake, I don't think you did. I did not. I was watching the highlights, and of course, I had several moments where I just like Trump's one-liner, his timing, perfect. Sal, did you watch it? Did you watch the
Town Hall? Is that what you're saying?
Town Hall yesterday? Yeah.
Okay, with Laura
Ingram. Yes, it was her highest-rated show. Of course, it was.
Of course,
I did not see it, but yes, Brian, I think you were saying you did watch it, right?
Check the
highlights.
Yeah, I did watch some highlights. Did you have an article pulled up? Do you want me to kind of go through the Twitter feed I have here?
You were saying, well, I think one of the questions I think that was brought up there, because I didn't get to see it, was that he's announced his short list, or maybe did it in the morning. So, and he said the short list here for VP candidates are Vivek Ramaswamy, Tim Scott, Ron DeSantis, Byron Donalds, Kristi Noem, and Tulsi Gabbard. So I don't know if we want to. It's from the town hall.
The audience has been asked who they think would be a good choice, and various names came up. One of them was, of course, Vivek Ramaswamy. He's made a big splash. Ron DeSantis, who's making an appearance today in South Carolina, we just found out. Obviously, Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, and a big presence here for Tulsi Gabbard. Very interesting. And Kristi Noem as well, I should say. Right. Are they all on your short list? And when can you?
Oh, okay. I was just about to issue a correction to say that wasn't his list, but he said that they are. So I don't know if he's confirming something that was already known, or if that was who people were voting for as potential picks.
Yeah, I think the story kind of blended together a little bit there, because he said they are. And that's the right answer. I don't know if his short list would have been slightly different, or name your top 4, name your top 6. I did like Byron Donalds. Are you guys familiar with Byron Donalds?
I like what I've seen. He was going to run for speaker, and then
Right, yeah.
I don't know if he didn't get the votes or what happened, but then the next thing you know, Mike Johnson got nominated, came out of nowhere. So, but yeah, he was floated around there when they couldn't, when they recalled McCarthy. But yeah, I like that. Tim Scott is a nice guy, a little too milquetoast. But Byron Donalds is a very interesting choice. He definitely deserves consideration. Other than that, I mean, I just don't think there's any way Ron DeSantis and him are going to exist and work together. I think they would Ron wants to be the leader. I don't think he would want to take directives from Trump, and I think he could be more useful in like an attorney general capacity, or just staying as governor, waiting his turn if he wants to do so in 2028. I don't know. Otherwise, I like the other picks. Yeah, it's a very good list. I think those are all a strong consideration. They're all light years better than Mike Pence.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And Pence just came out saying he wants to see anybody other than Trump. Of course he did. Sal, any names on this short list that you liked? Is there a name that's not on the list that you would prefer to see as VP?
Ramaswamy, I like him. He's a breath of fresh air. You know, I like him a lot.
Yeah, I think he's been impressive in the cycle. He's introduced himself to the world, and him and Byron Donalds, a U.S. rep from Florida's, what did he say, the 16th?
Yes.
Byron, both of them, they can hold their own in a sword fight. And it's like, how often do you just have these limp noodle John McCain, Mitt Romney, and I'm talking about presidential candidate Romney, presidential candidate McCain, because I guess the slimy underbelly of what they really are in Congress is a different version of them. But just these weak, limp. I don't know how else to describe it, but you need someone that can articulate the vision that you have for the country. And so whether it's Byron Donalds or whether it's Vivek Ramaswamy, I think they both do a fantastic job laying out, the positive vision. It can't just be, I don't like what Biden's doing. Look what Biden's doing over here. It's terrible. I get by criticizing it, you're saying I would do the opposite. I understand that, but it's also about painting the picture. If I say purple elephant by the fireplace, you just saw a picture of purple elephant by the fireplace because I said it. You have to be able to speak that into existence. And that's why, Blake and I were discussing President's Day, the rankings list. People like Reagan and people like Trump, these are spokespeople. These are Hollywood spokespeople. They're TV celebrities. These are people that have been in the limelight their entire lives, and they're here to pump America up. Team America, let's go. We're the CEO of this country, and we're back, baby. We're number one. Like, that's the energy you want from somebody holding down that figurehead position. I will add, and that's what I like about Byron Donalds and Vivek, is they can articulate that positive vision of the next couple decades of America versus, more of the same. But I will add this point. Tulsi Gabbard, she was a longtime favorite of my brother's. He loved Tulsi Gabbard, thought she would be an excellent choice. Former Democrat, kind of left the reservation over there. Libertarian leanings, former military member. Yeah, I don't know. I just will once again call for President Trump to announce his list immediately and send all of these people out to all of the states that are going to be battlegrounds, allegedly, and get them pushing it. I want Vivek out every single week making speeches in the big states that need to be won. Let them articulate the vision of MAGA. Don't make it all about Trump. Trump needs to take a few steps back and let his team run the plays that he's calling. That's my professional opinion. Less Trump is better. Everyone knows what it felt like under Trump until China released what allegedly came out of Wuhan. So Tulsi, Byron, Vivek, I like all of them, and I'd be okay with any of them. Kristi Noem seems like a pretty obvious one. Any names on there that we didn't hear? I guess Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake, she's running for her own spot, but she wouldn't make a bad choice. Is there anyone that was left off the list, guys? Blake, first to you. Anyone off the list?
Carrie Lake, would obviously stand out. I mean, even RFK Jr., I guess, to an extent. But I mean, I'd be happy with, Vivek for sure.
Yeah,
and probably Tulsi and maybe Byron Donalds.
Okay.
I think those are
Sal?
3 of the best. And there's no
isn't RFK Jr. Isn't he he's gonna be
third party candidate,
third party candidate, right?
Yeah. Will he see it all the way through?
I wanted him to go with Trump. Like, I thought that would have been awesome.
I like some of the medical freedom stuff that RFK Jr. brings to the table. Absolutely. The rest of his opinions, I think there's a lot. And I know, Blake, you're a big fan. You were at least a year ago.
Yeah, I'm mostly a big fan. I mean, I wouldn't mind with the VP. I don't think I would vote for him over Trump. But
no, never.
No. Yeah, not over Trump. But I think he'd be great in the Trump administration. Like, something. Tim Burchett is sensational, says Rick Norman. Who is Tim Burchett? I feel like didn't he play for the Colorado Rockies? He played first base. No, wait. I think about Dante Bichette.
Dante Bichette, yeah.
Dante Bichette. I was thinking Andres Galarraga, but I meant to say Dante Bichette. I digress. Okay, so Tim Burchett.
I'm not familiar, but I will have to take a look.
I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, me also.
All right. Well, you guys take a look at that, and then in the meantime, let's bounce to the next story here. We're going to talk about the lousy U.S. subway system. Is this the price of freedom? Do you agree or disagree on that one? All right. Well, lousy subway system is the price that we have to pay for freedom. Sal, do you agree with that one?
We're going to need context.
I don't know what they're talking. Where they're going with
I know. We're just guessing. New format. Okay.
Let's hear Jon Stewart of the Daily Show. He's come back. I don't know. He was on a 9-year hiatus or something. Long time.
Yeah.
He's coming back. He's filling in on Mondays now. So it's great to have his voice in there. And he took a lot of flack from the leftists after the first episode because he was, presenting things, fairly by, calling out Joe Biden for his age. And they didn't like that because they wanted him to reaffirm their Trump derangement syndrome. So, but on this one, he criticized his kind of, I don't know if a nemesis, but a longtime rival, I guess, Tucker Carlson after the interview with Putin. So let's just run a clip. I saw the whole piece, but I don't know what this particular clip is. But
can we do one thing? Let me call one audible.
Yeah.
I meant to wrap this on the last topic. Let me reset this. It's just one clip I wanted to play for you. Before we officially switch the topic. We were discussing the vice presidential pick. I think this was easily the number one moment of the night. So this is Nikki Haley entering full attack mode on Trump. And here's a little clip from this yesterday. I think this was easily the number one highlight of the event, in my opinion.
Some people used to say I was running because I really wanted to be vice president. I think I've pretty well settled that question.
Has she settled that question?
Well, I settled it about 3 months ago.
That's so
She's
good.
not working.
I mean, just the timing, the right phraseology, only Rosie O'Donnell. Well, I settled that 3 months ago. Yeah, have you guys seen this clip yet? I just thought it was fantastic.
No, good stuff.
Yeah, perfect timing. Let's hear the end when he kind of discusses it. This might run into the clip Blake just played, but we'll see.
Has she settled that question?
Well, I settled it about 3 months ago.
He does come across as very likable.
She's not working. She's here. She's down by 30, 35 points. and everybody knows her. You're not supposed to lose your home state. Shouldn't happen anyway, and she's losing it big. I mean, really, I said big Lee, and big Lee. She's losing it big, but we're gonna really do a job. I think that, as you know, when we
Some people use
cuts off at a weird point there. Yeah, the big Lee phrase. Yeah, but he does. President Trump does still come off as likable. That's something that I don't think a lot of people understand. It's the stand-up comedian Trump that people forget exists. Yeah. If you go on the New American Media on X, we're at American_media_. I shared a couple of, I believe it was Fox polls. It was like 5 undecided people. And there's like a 30-second clip there. And they just say, you know, I was undecided, but he just comes off as very likable. I've changed my mind after seeing the town hall. I'm voting Trump. I'm 100% in, you know, and it's just when he's in this form, he's unbeatable. I think he works way too hard, like aggressively going after Biden in those first debates. You know, once again, less Trump. Just let Biden have the floor. I don't think it'll end up being Biden, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I wanted to just play that clip real quick and check out the other ones on the X platform. All right, so Blake, back to this one. Lousy U.S. subway system, the price of freedom, Jon Stewart.
Yeah, let's see where this starts. Otherwise, I will add the rest of the context.
Can you full screen it too?
Because the difference between our urinal caked chaotic.
Yeah, he kind of skips over kind of the part where he's talking about the subway system. So, Brian, we covered Tucker Carlson's visit to Moscow.
Yes.
And his interview, and he went to the grocery store. And
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he also talked about their subway system, which was really nice. It was very clean, you know, as compared to New York, which is, you know, filthy and kind of terrifying. And so Jon Stewart made the point, you know, that this throwing his own city under the bus a little bit. Okay, let's try to run the clip a little bit here.
Right. Because the difference between our urinal caked chaotic subways and your candelabraed beautiful subways is the literal price of freedom. But the goal that Carlson and his ilk are pushing is that there's really no difference between our systems. In fact, theirs might be a little bit better. The question is, why? Why is Tucker doing this? Here's why. It's because the old civilizational battle was communism versus capitalism. That's what drove the world since World War II. Russia was the enemy then. But now they think the battle is woke versus unwoke. And in that fight, Putin is an ally to the right. He's their friend. Unfortunately, he is also a brutal and ruthless dictator. So now they have to make Americans a little more comfortable with that. I mean, liberty is nice, but have you seen Russia's shopping carts? And Tucker would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling assassins.
In a statement to the New York Times, Carlson said, quote, "It is horrifying what happened to Navalny. The whole thing is barbaric and awful. No decent person would defend it."
Correct. No decent person would.
Yeah, so interesting clip. We might have to run that again, but like there's some good stuff. There's some things that are accurate, things that are not accurate at all. So, and he just kind of jumps to the wrong conclusion of it and kind of just twists it all together.
He's given me modern era Stephen Colbert vibes, though. Like this is just really bitter, vitriolic, anti.
Well, he doesn't like Tucker. They've had a rivalry going back to when Tucker was on. What was that Crossfire show? He got roasted. He kind of destroyed his career there for a while. So yeah, but I guess it's still continuing. And of course, John's got to get some points with his base with the leftists who were criticizing him last time because he's willing to think for himself and he doesn't just join with the cult followers that the left has become. But why does the subway system? Why the fact that he's conflating that with capitalism? We can run it again here.
The screen is off.
Oh, is it off again? Oh, do we share screen went off? Okay.
Yes. While Blake finds that, Sal, thoughts?
Um, I look at it this way: when it comes to freedom, it's always a choice. My biggest thing that I like to talk about is me serving in the military. So I serve in the military, and like I think something that used to bug me that don't bug me anymore is in Atlanta, they'll have like a KKK rally, like downtown Atlanta at the State Building. It'll be a KKK rally. I look at it this way. I don't believe in their thoughts, but I feel that they should be free. This is America. They have the freedom to present that. The people that's going to go along with that, they're going to go along with it anyway. The people that's not going to go along with it, they're not going to go along with it. So at the end of the day, I fought for them to be able to speak out. Do I agree with them? No, I don't agree. I don't agree with half of the stuff that I see, but I believe that your First Amendment right is for you to be able to do whatever you want to do, as long as you're not putting hands on anyone. You have freedom of speech. So as long as that's not bothering anyone, it's fine. But when you let your freedom of speech go too far, where you're trying to make kids think that there's something that they're not, then I have something to say, and that's right.
Exactly. And I think where Jon Stewart kind of starts to lose me here is, like how dare he go interview the person at the center of what's leaning toward becoming a nuclear World War III? Isn't that exactly who you'd want to start having some communication with? Especially since the story that's coming out is that he's 3 times offered, like, I would like to stop this. I don't want this to continue anymore. And if it wasn't for the United States sending Ukraine more money to blow more stuff up and send more people off to their body bags, this would have been over a long time ago. Like, I'm sorry, Jon Stewart. Like, this is the conversation real journalists should be going to have. I'm not saying you buy any of his bullshit. You don't buy into the propaganda. He went to the grocery store. He did the little trip because that's what you do. You compare societies and, oh, look at this. They told us it was living hell on earth. And look, it's actually not that bad. Actually, they've banned GMO foods. Actually, it's 1/3 the price. Actually, are you okay, USA? And that was kind of the gist of the Scott Adams show today. He was, thank God you don't live in Ukraine where, wait a minute, that's all happening in the United States. Well, at least it's not totally corrupt where they can steal your property like in all those communist countries. Oh, wait, they're trying to steal Trump's buildings in New York. Well, at least you have free and fair elections and you have full transparency like they did down in South America. Oh, wait. Okay, and then you list the several reasons there, and it's like, whatever we thought this country was supposed to be, we are so far from that that promised land. I don't even know what we resemble. I don't know what our values as a nation are, and it's a strange time to, I don't know, Jon Stewart be talking shit against someone who is trying to get that other side of the story out there so that maybe a negotiated peace could occur. That is, of course, they wanted peace, which they don't. So, Blake, if you want to...
But, they did the same thing with Gorbachev when he visited the United States back in the 80s. He visited the U.S., and they didn't have they didn't have it up to snuff as far as how we had produce and things, and he lost his mind when he saw the way that the U.S. had an actual grocery store. Yeah, you can look this up. Gorbachev, he went to visit the U.S. He lost. I mean, this is fresh meat. Oh my God, So I think it works both ways, But
yeah, I think more communication is what this world needs, not less.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I don't know, for Jon Stewart looking all ghostly like Tom Hanks at the end of that movie where he got really skinny. I don't know, just going after Tucker for this, I feel is a little strange, but Blake,
that's low hanging fruit.
Yeah. Well, sorry about that. I don't know. He actually kind of resembles like the pasty Anderson Cooper of the Vanderbilt fame. But Blake, did you want to play this again?
Yeah, you just show like just a few parts of it that I think are just off, and it's just strange that he would bring that up. And yeah, he didn't really do a good job of criticizing. There wasn't much to criticize there, but he was just finding some reason to criticize him wherever he could. Like that was.
But I think he is right where he said that woke against unwoke is what's going on. And what you have a Russian Orthodox conservative Putin He's not being bullied into all of the woke stuff. He's not accepting that a 7-year-old is going to be a hobgoblin in their class. They're going to be a kitty cat and they need a litter box. Like, I'm sorry, there's adults in the room and we're not playing we're not doing this. Like how did we get to this? And it's so Putin is the antithesis of that. And that is hugely important, very bigly important, as Trump would say, because in a way, some of the only battles that matter, of course, we don't want a nuclear proliferation event to happen. But my God, with millions streaming across the border, they're here, they're ready. The sleeper cells are here. Sal, I mean, they're here, they're ready. But yeah, I mean, we need to be having these conversations. Sal, you and I, we've never talked about the sleeper cells since this.
No, we talked about it.
Okay, yeah, I've been talking about it forever. So it's only been a popular issue lately with all the numbers from the southern border just dropping jaws and seeing migrant camps attacking police in New York City. It's turning into Mad Max Thunderdome. So anyway, I was hoping that Jon Stewart would come out a little stronger than this, but however you want to wrap this segment up.
All right. Well, I was just saying, it's not like you can't have it one way or the other, and the way he's conflating these different things. Like, we can't have a U.S. Nice subway system because it's the price of freedom. Doesn't even make any sense. Like, when the New York subway system was built and brand new, it was probably, amazing. People were wowed, of course, and as they should be. It was state of the art and amazing and beautiful. So, but now he's acting like, because we're a free country, we can't have that, or that's how they're trying to make these weird comparisons between us and Russia. And certainly Russia has its own issues. Yeah, we tie into the woke stuff as well. There's a bigger problem at play here that needs to be discussed. But it was weird how we kind of twisted these different things that didn't have any business being together. So I don't know if we can either play part of this.
Candelabra, beautiful subways is the literal.
We could have, but what is it?
Of freedom.
It's not the price of freedom. Why can't we still have nice stuff? Because we're not. If we were using our money better and putting it into our infrastructure rather than sending it over to Ukraine, or how many other things are we wasting money on? Exactly. Yeah, I would love to make the New York subway system better. It's got nothing to do with being a free country or not. So it was
make the New York subway system great again.
There you go. Yeah, you could. But yeah, it's a failing shithole. I think everybody's trying to leave New York, and even the truckers are getting a lot more vocal about this. So this might be key on.
Sal, I don't know if you realize, but there was a moment in time. Blake was in Vegas and I was in LA, and then there was a moment in time where we overlapped at the same place in Los Angeles. Where was I going with that story, Blake? What were you literally
I was talking
saying?
About the truckers.
It was right before the truckers. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. I think the main train of thought was just that we were talking about New York and the truckers and things falling to hell and the migrants attack. Migrant crime. That was another thing that President Trump said yesterday. Migrant crime numbers. And this is going to catch. And you're seeing the videos. It's just like these people that broke into the country. They're here. And while they're here, they're causing problems. Are you kidding me? But Blake and I.
What do you expect?
What's that?
What do you really expect?
Thank you. This is exactly what I would expect. Thank you very much. And this is what the rest of the country would expect, which is why this is something we've never done like this before. There's a reason. But Blake and I were seeing this in Los Angeles, and that what I was saying is what we're seeing out of New York now. It feels like what we were dealing with in Los Angeles. It was more meth heads and gangs, but the underbelly of the prostitution, the dealing, the violence, the theft, the burglary, the wanton violence. It was just like, this is stupid. I feel like I'm I'm the one sane person inside of an insane asylum.
Clown world.
Clown world. Yeah,
that's what it is. Clown world. Because my thing is that if we don't put ourselves under the microscope, or we don't make it so that the people that commit crimes, they don't get punished or any of this. If we let them get away, what's going to happen with the migrants that come here?
Yep.
They're going to be able to do the same thing, and they'll do it even worse because of the fact that this is new to them.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. This is a new situation. So when you got a new situation, you see, when you think America, you think freedom, you think you can do whatever you want. In their mind, they thinking they can probably do whatever they want. And then at the end of the day, these are going to be the results.
And this is what Dreamer Ultra is saying in the comment here that Blake pulled up. Jon Stewart is trying to normalize crime and crap at the subway, not buying it. Thank you. I agree. Let's raise our standards.
Exactly.
Oh, by the way, did you see Grant Cardone and Kevin O'Leary? They both decided today that they're pulling in all their investment deals out of New York immediately because of what they did to Trump and how they're like that this is no longer a safe environment to operate in. Like, this is the scene before Gulch in Atlas Shrugged. This is right before Who is John Galt? This is right before everybody bounces, when they've had enough and said, you know what? You don't appreciate us being here. Good luck on your own. And they all take off. They go inside, they find their alternate universe, their Gulch, and they take off. But yeah, Kevin O'Leary from all the TV shows and Grant Cardone, these are mega investors. They are all out supporting the concept of fairness and jurisprudence. Like Kevin O'Leary said, he goes, this isn't pro-Trump, anti-Trump. He goes, everything, whatever he did, he put up a value. He's asking for half the value of his place to get a loan out. He paid a bank. The bank had no complaints. They were paid on time. Everybody made money. There was no problem with the deal. This is the same deal that happens 1,000 times across the country every single day. And if you're going to penalize and you're going to try to steal his wealth like a communist country, we're done. We're divesting. We are no longer participating in business in your state. And this is what's happening. We're fleeing California. We are fleeing New York. We are being pushed out of these places. And it's a matter of trying to normalize the non-normal, Blake.
Exactly.
Right. Yep. Looks like it's a failing state now. So that's too bad. It's a great city.
We had a good run.
Turning into a dump. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anything else to add?
But it's the historical thing that bugs me out about it. It's the historical things. The people that was there. Can you imagine those people, the patriots of our time? How would they look at us right now for the stuff that we're doing? Are you serious?
Yeah. What would Ben Franklin say? What would Thomas Jefferson say today? Tell me. I would love to tune into the Thomas Paine podcast and hear what that mofo had to say.
Or Christmas addicts. I took a bullet. Christmas addicts. I took a bullet for this.
For this. Exactly. For this. All right. Blake, anything else to add on this subway story?
Nope. I only got about 8 minutes to make this a nice hour and a half.
All right, let's go. What about this story here? The Amazon driver deserves jail for migrant meddling. Does an Amazon driver deserve jail for migrant meddling? Agree or disagree?
All right. Well, it's kind of written oddly because I was trying to fit it into a certain parameters, line them all up. But yes, Amazon driver. Let's get into more of the full title here. Let me pull this story up. The New York Post. Amazon. I'm still staying in New York here. Amazon driver fends off attack from a drunk, naked New York City migrant and ends up in cuffs.
You gotta be kidding me.
Right. So Amazon driver in the Big Apple said he had to slam a naked and drunk migrant in the head with a snowball to keep the deranged asylum seeker from making off with his packages, so only to find himself in handcuffs. So he's doing his job. He's delivering packages, and a drunken migrant comes out of the way and starts trying to take stuff. The migrant, identified by police sources as Yason Sanchez, 26 years old, was allegedly stumbling drunk and clutching a beer bottle when the Amazon driver said he caught him red-handed.
Tijuana. We've become Cancun, Mexico during peak week.
Right. So we caught him red-handed trying to make off with
Wow.
packages. And then he was unloading stuff, and a guy, like, I guess he was exposed too. He had his penis out, he said. The driver.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Talk
so
about a package. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes. So, yeah, really.
Special delivery. Who needs a
There you go.
package?
Drunk out of his mind, rowdy, and the driver said he had to protect himself. He didn't want the merchandise getting stolen. So, and he also heard about there was an unprovoked stabbing of another Amazon worker. So he said he saw a snow pile, picked up a piece, and he threw a snowball at him, and he fell. And then he spotted some cops, but then somehow it backfired. And because the drunk said that he had gotten punched in the face and told him there were cameras, but they still cuffed him. So Sanchez, he lived at a shelter just blocks away from the scene, was charged with, I guess, petty larceny and public lewdness, and was released, of course, without bail in court on Monday.
Unreal.
He was bruised and attacked, but the driver, I guess, also got in trouble for that.
Jesus.
So crazy. Yeah.
We had a resident troublemaker in our last neighborhood attacked the cop with a weapon, with a hammer. And it's like, oh, thankfully, at least this guy, he'll be off the streets for a little while now that he's busted. They dumped him back out on our streets the next day.
Jesus.
No bail, no accountability. This is a violent nut job. And that's when I said, I'm done with Los Angeles. I'm done. You don't want to protect the productive people here. No, thank you. I'm not doing it. You want to bend over backward for all of this criminal activity that's making your city unwalkable, unlivable, undrivable, unbelievable. I'm not doing it. Did this guy get arrested for a long time, or was it just a temporary handcuffing? Does it say that was he released later? Is he facing
probably
charges?
Yeah. Later it says both the migrant and the Amazon worker ended up in cuffs on the same day. Charged with third-degree assault
charges.
Yeah. So yeah, they're going back and forth, but it's
well. My point to everybody is flee blue cities and flee blue states. Sal, what's your take on this?
I'm with you on that. This is crazy.
Yeah, Georgia's supposed to be red, but
no, it's red. Hey, trust me, it's red.
I know, but Fannie Willis is up to Fannie Willis stuff, and it's as corrupt as Chicago or New York.
This is just something that they're trying to do. That's all. I don't think that she was qualified for the position that she was in. That's just my personal opinion. From the way that she's done things, I don't know what might happen to her, but she'd be lucky not to get jail time for what she did.
Oh yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think what's going to happen is she's going to take a little plea deal and she's going to just get off of it, and they're going to let her finish off her little finish it off. But excuse me, whoa.
Gotcha.
They're gonna get her up out of there. They're gonna tell her, "Hey, be quiet. You got a year or so left. Just do your year or so and go on."
Right.
She's been doing all type of stuff here, and I mean, I look at it as just this is a situation where I feel that some people get put up to doing certain things, and that's just what it is. It's sad.
I think Letitia James and Fannie Willis, I mean, they're all kind of in the same boat. They're just like a victim of the moment.
They are.
I think there needs to be repercussions for this.
But no, people put them in those positions, so I can't really say that because people put them in those positions. So if I put somebody,
there should be consequences.
That's not supposed to be a doctor, and I put him to be a doctor, I say, yeah, he's good enough to be a doctor, but he's not You don't have the credentials to be a doctor, and I allow him.
Yeah, but we have the most diverse doctor staff out there. We have the most diverse staff. It's full of people that are not qualified, and they look all sorts of different heights, different colors, different religions. Look at our team of people that are not qualified. Maybe qualified. I don't know. Qualifications, that's secondary compared to making sure we look like the 64 crayons in the box. We just want a lot of comparison.
But the thing is,
like, I just want competence. I just want competence.
I want accountability. I want you to be accountable.
Everywhere.
If you mess up, okay, this is the thing. I don't expect anyone to be perfect, okay? But I want you to at least be accountable for whatever it is that you do. Just like with this whole thing with the Amazon, okay? So you mean to tell me that this person, this work Amazon, all he want to do is collect this check and go home. He's getting put in a position where he has to not only deliver the packages, but he has to fight off someone, fight off a package that he don't want. You know, he got to fight off that. That's ridiculous to me.
It's bad enough he's got to do that, and for him to get in trouble for it,
right? That
doesn't make any sense.
But the thing is that whole wokeness is, oh, we can't do this to him because he comes from Venezuela and he did this and that. No, wrong is wrong. If he's wrong, lock him up.
Exactly. No. And Blake, what's the name of that guy? Was it Daniel Shit? No, not Daniel Shit. The one who
the Subway guy. I don't remember his name offhand. I should.
Yeah, but there was a Subway guy. There was a guy that was bothering everybody on the train, and he put him in a hold, and the guy died. It's like the guy didn't want to participate in anything, but like this guy was aggressively threatening everybody within eyeshot, and he was the one man there who decided, all right, well, somebody has to help before this gets really bad. And look what New York's doing. They're prosecuting him.
I don't think that he should be prosecuted, but I think he took it too far. Now, my thing is this, and the only reason why I say that is because I've worked security before. So because I work security, I know how strong I am. I know what I could do. So I shouldn't put you in the cobra clutch, all right? If I know that I could possibly.
Well, I'll say one thing, and I don't have every.
I'm talking about compared to somebody is crazy. You see this guy's crazy. That's my thing. And that's all I'm saying. Yeah. When you see someone's crazy, for him to do what he did, he's crazy. There's a thin line between being crazy and being like some, whatever. This person's crazy. That's
well, it always made me super uncomfortable on public transportation, getting around people
crazy
people scream in my face, and people like. There are a lot of things I do not participate. I do not care to relive a second time and roll the dice a second time. But my limited understanding on this case is that he put him in a hold, and then at some point the guy stopped, and then he started. There's a process that you revive a person, like in MMA. If you're grappling and they tap out, there's something you do to kind of jumpstart, like, and then they come back to. If you've ever seen someone put in a sleeper, there's something you do. I guess he did that. Like, he wasn't just out there trying to break necks. It wasn't dropping elbows and gratuitous violence. It was like, I'm restraining you. Okay, you've stopped. Let's revive you. Like those efforts were made. That's my limited understanding there. Okay, move along real quick, Blake. Just 2 highlights on 2 quick final stories, if you have it in you.
Yeah, we got to let's get them done quick. I don't even know that much about them, but let's wrap this one up. Okay, what do you got, Brian?
Boris Johnson interview. This is well worth $1 million. Agree or disagree? I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I haven't really got into the story much, but just quick highlights. Tucker Carlson says Boris Johnson demanded $1 million for an interview, which is just insane on the surface, and I don't even need to see anything further. He's just obviously, I don't know. There's something wrong there, or he's afraid of different questions. Clearly, he doesn't interested in putting out a good point of view. He's just being combative and doesn't want to be questioned or put on the spot or what have you. So I don't know, but maybe I missed it. I didn't get into too much of it, so. Why don't you guys? What do you guys think?
I didn't either. I didn't go too deep into it. Thoughts, Sal?
I agree.
Yeah, asking for $1 million for an interview. I get it. I mean, look, ask for it if you can. You might as well. Who knows? What do they say? What did Wayne Gretzky say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I can't blame the guy for saying, all right, we'll pay me. I'll sit down. I'll be very courteous. We'll do big numbers. But, it's a douchey thing to do, especially when you have a chance to get out on the #1 show. It's like, why are you pushing your luck here? Boris Johnson. I mean, I don't know. I don't have too much to add.
The thing is let me give you some context. So Boris Johnson called Tucker Carlson as a tool of the Kremlin. And so he basically said, hey, well, maybe we could do an interview.
Okay.
They don't want any pushback on that because they know he's not a tool of the Kremlin, and they don't want to answer questions about what's really going on with the funding behind Ukraine and their war.
So he got called out.
Yeah.
So he kind of ran his mouth, and then he got called out, and now he's just disappearing.
Yep.
He's ghosting it. It's not you, it's me.
He should do it for free for the publicity and correct the record, but
exactly
he doesn't for a reason.
Well, I guess we will put out there that we would also extend an invite to Boris Johnson to discuss some of the same topics that he might have discussed with Tucker Carlson. If he doesn't prefer their show, you can join us here. We'll set up the time. Just send me a message, Brian at the New American Media. Okay, final story, and then we'll bounce on our second Tnam night show. No idea exactly how we're going to put this together, but I've enjoyed the different I don't know. I feel like my brain is firing a little differently at this late hour. Blake, how does it feel to you? Is it?
It's just a different vibe. I'm used to doing shows day or night, so it doesn't really bother me a whole lot either way. It just depends on how the format. But anyway, final story. But yeah, it's been an interesting. You're calling it #2 show. Where was the first show?
Tnam Night Show was maybe the first podcast that we did. You were over here maybe in 2019.
Oh, okay.
And so we did a Tnam Night Show. It was maybe 20, 30 minutes. It's on Spotify. If you scroll all the way back, Tnam Night Show, I believe. But yeah, this is like the second one, just, many years apart.
Okay, well, interesting. I was curious about that. Yeah, it's been a while, so very good.
Yeah, so the Tnam Night Show #2, but then maybe we'll bring out the 11/11 show at some point as well, Sal.
All right.
Thanks for the reminder there. I love it. All right, what's going on here on MSNBC? What's up here?
I was creating more controversy and more divisive stuff. So as a guest asserting that white people stole all music from black people. Y'all created classical music. Y'all should have stuck with that. I don't think I made it that far into the interview, but here we go. This is a clip from MSNBC.
Issue. I don't know if you saw our last block. We were talking about the conservative outcry over Beyonce's upcoming country album. One could joke this whole affair illustrates that the far right actually really hates cultural appropriation, but black people have always been a part of folk and country music. You want to weigh in on that?
If white people hate cultural appropriation.
I know he's asking her to weigh in.
I didn't know that they had said anything about Beyonce doing a country album, and I'll just say I could care less, but I could see if so. Maybe this is all fair and retaliation, and she was put on the spot, and she made it controversial.
Yeah, it's easy to do that because the whole thing is Beyonce is from Texas, okay? And she decided to make a country music song, and people were like so against it. What was Bo Duke of the Dukes of Hazzard? He had something to say about it. And then they brought out that he was born and raised in New York. So it's
New York City.
So it's his own thing. The whole thing was it was a radio station that didn't want to play her music on the country music station. And they were like, we got other stations that play Beyonce's music, but we're not going to play it on the country music station. So that's the whole deal. That's the deal.
Oh, that's lame anyway. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big country music fan, but I think a couple of the country songs that I've heard in the last few years that actually stand out that I actually liked was what Does a Lil Nas have one? And then there was the other one, the Old Town Road.
Yeah. That's him.
That was really good. And then, so I mean, I welcome the change. I don't know if I liked some of the regular pop country. They almost kind of have to mix it with something else to make it interesting to me. Like, Big and Rich, Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy,
right?
Stuff like that. Or I appreciate the old country music, which was great. Classic country is fantastic, but I don't know. So I'm not that much of a traditionalist with it. So welcome it all. But yes, this lady was put on the spot, and here we go. Her response to that.
And they shouldn't have created music because every form of music in America was stolen from black people. Rock and roll, jazz, blues, country, pop music. So if you have a problem with cultural appropriation, y'all created classical music. Y'all could have stuck with that.
Jesus.
Roll the piano into this concert. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it only applies to the fact that we don't like this thing. We can't steal this thing.
Right.
Listen, we keep showing up. We keep showing up and we keep doing well. Y'all let us do gymnastics. You saw what happened. Y'all let us do golf. You saw what happened. Now we in tennis. Listen, when we start.
Hold on.
Right.
I brought this up in the beginning that he asked her to weigh in. Okay, that was the first joke I was making, and I kind of glided past everybody. But I'm bringing it up a second time because now she's saying y'all asked us to do gymnastics. I'm sorry, lady, you're not doing gymnastics. I'm going to weigh in on the topic. Sorry, nobody's asking you in good conscience to. Anyway, this is getting so.
She didn't get to the point. That's the thing, and when this is the thing. What most of us as a people, we get emotional. Instead of us going to talk about what the subject matter is, she done went far left. What she should have said was, this is how she felt about the music and let it be about music. But she decided to go left. And now it's not going to be, come on, man.
Yeah, she took it too far. Yeah.
And by the way, I love when people, who was the guy with the grill, Post Malone.
Yeah.
At the Super Bowl. He did America the Beautiful. Yeah. Now he's a rapper, right? Now I know he does play some guitar, but you kind of know him as a hip hop guy.
No.
I liked the rendition of America the Beautiful. I liked Run DMC and Walk This Way with Aerosmith. Anytime people cross genres, I think it's the coolest shit. I like when bands cross their own genres and they go from heavy, like a turntable and drop D tuning, and then they're doing an acoustic session. Like our band used to be that schizophrenic. I like covering your own songs.
Right.
I love seeing people play in different genres. I think it's the coolest stuff. So I don't know how anyone would have a problem with that.
But this is the thing, and this is what you don't realize, and this is a cultural thing. You don't realize how much black women love Beyonce.
It's as much as
mochaccino, so
frappuccino, pumpkin spice people like
no wrong. So because of that, that's what makes it what it is. That's why she got an attitude. She's a member of what they call the Beehive. So that's the reason why it's the way it is.
But has Beyonce also been bleaching her skin and dyeing her hair? Like, isn't she one of the people that you see over the 10 years and you go, there's some sort of change occurring here. You saw it with Michael Jackson. You saw it with, now, of course, Sammy Sosa had a different reason for it. Blake being a longtime Cubs fan, but there's something going on there, right? The people have said it. I'm not saying I believe. I don't care. I don't even pay attention to her.
I think when it comes to a certain, when you get to a certain mark of fame, I think that you do things that are just ridiculous. Because you got to a point where you accumulated so much money, and how many cars can you buy? How many houses can you buy? So you start doing weird stuff. That's just what I get from it. Look at Britney Spears. She made hundreds of millions of dollars, and now she's like crazy. And that's the way we all look at her. But it's something deeper than that. And it has to be. Come on, man.
Yeah. The pop world is a strange world, Blake. Did I interrupt her? Did she have some more to say here? I'm sorry.
You did, but no. You had that's enough. Come on. Man.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
They love her. She loves that woman. That comes from a place of love. She got love for Beyonce. and it's a cultural thing. They call themselves the Beehive. If you do anything wrong towards Beyonce, some of these women are willing to do whatever. You can look this stuff up, man. It's called the Beehive. You do not interrupt the Beehive. They love Beyonce. It's like scary. It's almost like a worshiping type deal. It's like a religion. They call themselves the Beehive. I'm trying to tell you, that's the reason why it's the way it is. That's why. Look at her face. That's why she feel the way she do. She loves Beyonce.
So she just went all extra, not because of her ambivalence or hatred toward white people and white culture.
No,
it's more along the lines of, you insulted me, I'm just gonna rain nuclear hell down on you.
It's a Beyonce thing. I'm trying to tell you what I know. That's a Beyonce thing. It's real deep. I dated a woman that was into Beyonce so much that she spent like $800 to get like a substandard ticket to her concert in Atlanta. $800 for like a nosebleed session seat in the dome over here.
Wow.
So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's a cultural thing. I'm trying to tell you. If you look it up, I'm trying to say, look up the
all right. The Beehive. I get it. I've been on the wrong side of beehives before. I'll be on the wrong side of beehives again. You know, it's kind of like Taylor Swift. I've heard a couple songs.
It's just like that.
I thought Beyonce was okay in Austin Powers, a song or two. I don't hate completely. I'm kind of ambivalent, but yeah, kind of like you said, a cult. Like yeah, a lot of the occult stuff, the Super Bowl halftime stuff, there is kind of like a thing with her and Jay-Z and LeBron. Like there's a whole universe of other weird stuff, interesting stuff attached to that. But all right, so I guess you're saying let's bail on the rest of her insults. They were so clever though.
No,
y'all are telling me to do gymnastics. Okay, we're doing gymnastics now.
Oh Lord Jesus.
What do you have pulled up here, Jim Brewer?
Yeah, well, when she said that, because I've heard that, I think there's truth to that blues music, and it kind of ties into like the Johnny B. Good in the Back to the Future movie with Chuck Berry.
Something like what does he say? Blues, you might not be ready for this, but your kids are gonna love it. Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, they stole blues music from black people and turned it into rock and roll and heavy metal. But that remind me of another clip, flashback way in the past. One of my favorite shows from old Comedy Central, and it's a Jim Brewer pulp comic. So it was like a stand-up comedy, but then they would do some reenactments.
I don't remember this maybe at all. That's
it's probably 25 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody had to upload this from like VHS or something, but he's talking about going to an intervention. So I just wanted to roll the clip. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it.
Record release party, man. Did you say this is a record release party, man?
We just said that because we knew that was the only way we could get you here. This is an intervention.
I was wondering why there was a record release party at my mom's house.
You can't waste your life waiting to go to concerts, annoying everybody around you, dreaming of starting a heavy metal band.
Mom, you're 38 now. You gotta do something different. It's killing you.
Cool.
You're the coolest dad in the whole world, and I love you, but you need to take control of your life.
Who are you? Jim, my music sucks. What's wrong with you?
Who are you?
I get paid to dress like this. What's your excuse?
Listen to me. Heavy metal is just ripped off blues chords. You've been listening to stolen riffs your whole life, bitch.
Oh my God.
He just says him, bitch.
Jesus.
Yep.
I've never seen that before.
It was a great show, but yeah, it's probably it was over 20 years ago that I remember when it was on. Like
was Jon Stewart hosting the Daily Show at that point?
Yeah, who knows? It might have been Craig Kilgore. I don't know. No, I don't know if it's that old, but it's been around a while.
Right.
But they only ran it for like maybe a season, or I don't even remember there was that many episodes. It was a great concept.
Jim Brewer's been pretty good lately. Very, very outspoken on the freedom issue.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done some great.
I've caught a lot of his stuff.
The COVID.
I like
All right.
half-baked.
Say that again.
I like them since half-baked.
No, yeah, of course. And Chappelle in there as well. All right, let's go around the table. Parting shots, final words. Sal. Parting words, final shots. Dreamer Ultra was not aware of the.
We need final. Right. Put everybody on the spot at the last minute.
I know. What a.
Yeah, I don't know.
Your first. Sal sending me the dictionary of pop culture beehive. Okay, I'm all about this now. But Sal, this is your first time joining us on the Tnam Night Show. Any thoughts? Any highlights? Any suggestions for the next show? Any topics we missed? Anything you want? Anything you remembered that you wanted to add to any of those stories?
Nothing. I added what I needed to add to the story. I'll be your pop culture guy, I guess, because that's the thing that the whole thing with that young lady, it comes from a place of her just loving Beyonce, and I don't get it. I'm an older guy, so I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like you said, we agree to disagree. You know, I don't feel that no one's taking any. Only thing that was taken for Black people were the royalties. That's about it. Other than the music, if you play good music, I'll listen to it. I don't care. I
mean, it could be argued that royalties have been taken from everybody from the beginning of time. Taylor Swift said that her catalog got bought by George Soros.
No. The reason why I said that, I saw a movie called Cadillac Records, and that really tripped me out because the guy took all their music, and it's like they didn't own any of the music. And
I believe you. That story's happened to artists of every genre.
No. It's a part of the business. I get that as a part of the business.
It's awful. It's the worst part of the business.
Yeah, but I'm saying for that time period. You get what I'm saying? At least now, Taylor, she's still getting hundreds of millions of dollars.
She re-recorded all of her albums so that she could resell it and put a different version out on the radio and pull the other versions. She went gangster, and that's what Snoop Dogg did. Snoop Dogg went and bought the catalogs, and he goes, "No, I am the library now. You come to me." What Ford news to share? Right. It's like I am the library.
Been delightful, but I really do have to run. So, all right, good times.
All right, Blake's final word.
That's it. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. Yeah, take care. Thanks for a memorable Tnam number 2. All right, take care.
Tnam Night Show number 2. All right, Blake. See you later. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say on the matter. But yeah. I'm just happy that we were able to add a third show this week. And now, where did you find us, Sal? Did you see it through the Facebook, The Unhappy Hour, the Agree to Disagree show? Where did you know to click to end up here?
No, I checked No, I checked. You sent me the link. You sent it to me.
Yeah, I need to figure out the best way to get like this open for anybody to jump in. Like I want to do just like straight sports shows, and I want to have more of an interaction thing. Like I definitely want to also start booking some of the guests that I had.
Right.
Doing this for 12 years, like there's some pretty awesome guests that we've had over the years. But yeah, in the past year of the relaunch, I haven't been booking guests. So I want some of these night shows to just kind of like be an open forum where Sal jumps in, where Blake is here, where someone else is here, and maybe that's a show we do cover current events. Maybe it's something we do sports. I don't know. Maybe we talk about the Rock and Roll Hall.
It was only two Cleveland. It was only 2 Cleveland shows that I would watch when I was over there, and it was Waiting for Next Year and your show were the 2 like dedicated Cleveland shows where it was the Browns, the Cavs, whatever.
Yeah.
You did politics, and that's what got me really into it because I would actually listen to it. It wasn't like it was a video, but you'd be able to listen to what you guys were talking about. So I'll be able to listen to whatever was going on. And you know, I'm in Iraq at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm at Iraq. I was in Iraq. Then I was in Saudi Arabia. Then I was in Dubai. Then I was in Qatar. So I was able to listen to these shows while I was overseas. So that's the crazy part about it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but that is the beauty of the internet. Like, it's supposed to be a global living room. All right, you know, like I got a bar in the basement. Let's head down the basement. Let's talk about what's going on. Pour yourself a beverage. So cheers, Sal. Thanks for joining us on this episode. We want to continue this. Trying to figure out, will it always be Wednesday? Will it always be 9 o'clock? I'm not entirely certain. But I think changing up the time of the day is important. It was Blake's strong suggestion. I went along with it just to kind of get a vibe for it. And
yeah, if you just let me know ahead of time, especially if it's during the nighttime. I'm a night owl like you, so yeah. Let me know ahead of time, and we're good.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, what we have penciled is Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That may or may not change, but that's where we are for now. But
cool.
Yeah, man, thank you for joining.
No problem.
It was awesome. Like the concept of bringing you in and jumping in. It's weird because we don't normally take calls as it were. But like there was like an alert noise. It was like going bloop.
Yeah. This is what happened. I was like, wait a second.
And I scrolled down. You were there. I'm like, oh, there he is. He's knocking at the door. All right, let's let him in. Welcome to the party. We're talking about whatever's in the news. But okay, cool. Well, Sal, to be continued, sir. Good seeing you.
All right, brother. Take it easy. Continued. Yes, sir.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. To be continued. Peace out.